Essentially, the high-level process for obtaining a patent is you prepare and file a patent application with the United States Patent and Trademark Office. The application gets assigned to an examiner, and there's what's called an examination phase. Often it's referred to as a patent prosecution phase. And during that phase, the examiner will review the application, review its patentability, and issue what are called office actions. So the office actions are letters that are sent from the examiner to the applicant. And so this back and forth process is called the patent prosecution process. After the patent prosecution process is over, then the applicant gets what's called a notice of allowance. And the notice of allowance essentially means that the applicant has got to the end of the process, and all they have to do is pay the issue fee and complete a issue fee payment form, and their patent will be issued as an official US patent. And they'll get a fancy looking US patent with it's a nice little booklet. They used to come with a shiny ribbon, not anymore, but now you have a pretty gold seal. And so that's at the high level, that's the process. So you prepare the application, you submit it to the patent office, you go through the examination phase or the patent prosecution phase. And if you make it through that process, then you get to the notice of allowance and issuance. So that at the highest level, that is the process for obtaining a patent. The ordinary course of a patent application in the patent office is, I remember I said you first apply, right? So that's submitting the application. Most applicants just submit electronically through what's called the electronic filing system, or EFS web. The patent office is actually adopting a new filing system, but effectively you electronically file. You could paper file. It actually costs more to paper file because the government is trying to get applicants away from generating more paper for them, right? Because you submit paper, they have to scan it in. So they're trying to get away from that. But essentially, once you file your application, essentially to the first correspondence from the examiner, it usually takes between 2 to 3 years. That's the average. Now, the patent office has what are called different art units. So if you're submitting an application on a process for creating wine, that's going to be a different art unit than a process than on an application on a mobile application, for example, or a software application. So those are different classes, different art units. So different art units have different timelines, but generally what we see is it takes about 2 to 3 years for examination. So the overall patent process from filing to issuance is usually 3 to 5 years. That's a conservative estimate. There's obviously some take longer than 5 years, and some actually even take less than a year. So you see everything. But that's generally the average timeline for obtaining a patent.